Earlier this week, I did a video on Palantir. Actually, I did a short video that you may have seen in which I was alarmed that one of the key officers at Palantir had liquidated almost all of his stock around the 20th of November. And I feared that maybe he knew something that I didn't know or we didn't know, and I needed to get to the bottom of it, and I promised I would. And that's what this video is. I'm going to explain what I found and maybe that will help you. Here's the short video that I did. Look, aware that David Glazer, the CFO and treasurer of Palantir, sold 98% of his holdings. It amounted to $7,611,000. That's right. He knows something you and I don't know. I was going to buy some Palantir because I think it's a big player in the AI revolution, but come on. We need to find out what David knows that nobody else is telling us. And that was the video I did. And so after that, I said, I'm going to find out if there's a pattern here, if the other officers of Palantir are also selling. And I was a little bit surprised and confused by what I found, but I want to share it with you. And I'll take you to my computer here, and let's see if we can get some better understanding of what's happening at Palantir and why David Glazer sold almost 99% of his stock in the month of November. We'll get right to it after I share with you. This is not financial advice. This is me sharing my knowledge with you. It's that simple.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Griegmeyer.
This is the result of the research that I said I would do on the insider trading in Palantir. Because of David Glazer's trading, I was somewhat alarmed and held back in buying Palantir stock. So what I wanted to do was get a clear view of what's happening inside Palantir as far as insider trading. So I did my research, and I've come up with the trading activity of Alex Karp, David Glazer, Alexander Moore, Ryan Taylor, Shyam Singar, Stephen Cohen, Heather Plan-Isek, and Peter Thiel. And what I'm showing you here is how many shares they owned in August, and then what they own in November, and then how much they bought or sold, and what the percentage of their holdings they sold. And as you can see, David Sinclair used to own about 1,000,008 shares. He's down to 4,344. So he's sold 99.76% of his shares, and he's the chief financial officer. The other one who has done substantial trading is Ryan Taylor. He's the chief legal officer. He didn't own near as much, but he's sold 50% of his holdings over the last 3 months. Now, the one who has basically broken the pattern is Peter Thiel, and he is one of the founders and a serial entrepreneur. He actually bought 3,333,000 shares additional in those past 3 months. Then what I did was research and find out what was the total number of shares bought by insiders over the last 3 months and the last 12 months, and compared that to the total number of shares sold over the last 3 months and the last 13 months. And you can see here that as far as the last 3 months, Peter Thiel has basically been the big buyer and pretty much supports the buying activity in Palantir, while the other officers of the company have been doing some systematic, I would say what Alexander Moore is doing is just some systematic scheduled trading that amounts to less than 4% of his shares over the past 3 months. And that's similar to what Heather is doing. But again, I'm somewhat alarmed by what David Glazer has done. I guess what I'm concluding is he may have his reasons, and they must be very, very strong reasons, but it is not anything that is being followed by anyone other than Ryan Taylor and Stephen Cohen, the president. He is, over the last 3 months, he's sold 28% of his stock, almost 29%. So I don't know if I can come to any conclusion and say, this is a red flag or this is a green flag. I am somewhat encouraged by Peter Thiel and Alex Karp's activity. They are the two key players, I feel, in this whole group of people, and they seem to be somewhat content with what they've got and where they're going. Again, David Glazer apparently has his own reasons, which I'm not privy to. So that's the research I've done and the conclusions I've come to. The only thing I would add to this is I don't know David Glazer, and I would have no way of knowing what his priorities are. But the only thing I can point to and say that has happened that might stimulate someone to do that is what's happening in Israel. I don't know if what David's religious beliefs are, or maybe it has something to do what's going on in Russia. I don't know. But hooray for you, David, if that is what your motivation is and you're seeking to help other people as a result of your good fortune. I don't know. I guess I'm a bit relieved in that no one else is going in big direction, and Peter Thiel and Alex Karp, the two people that I respect the most relative to Palantir, are kind of holding their own. So that's what I try to do. I look at things and I try to connect the dots, particularly when one of the dots is way out here in left field, and that's exactly what David Glazer's activities are. It's out in left field. We don't know. We can only speculate, but I feel better now seeing what I've seen that the other officers are doing. Again, being the president and selling 50%, that's a little bit radical. So I think my position at this point is I'd like to buy Palantir, but I'd like to buy it at $14 a share. I believe that the market has some downside in front of it, some headwinds, interest rates that are going to come down, but our debt is so out of line, and it really worries me that as these interest rates that went up for corporations and individuals and then the student loans being reinstated, that we're going to have some credit problems that are going to affect the banking industry. And then as that banking industry is affected, there comes some fear into the stock market as we're trying to come to some resolution on our national debt situation. I just believe that there are some headwinds that are going to give me some buying opportunities in a number of stocks. In yesterday's video, I showed you the Excel spreadsheet that I've put together to help me identify the prices I want to buy in and where they're at on a day-to-day, hour-to-hour basis. And then I've got my portfolio that I've put together relative to dividends and some of these stocks that are paying 8, 9, 11% dividends are coming to where they're going to have their ex-dividend date in December. So I've got some orders in there. And I'm managing my portfolio very, very closely because I think this is the beginning of the investment opportunity of my lifetime. And I've been through a long lifetime. So that's what I'm doing. I encourage you to join our tribe. You can do that by getting on the bus, and there's a link in the description. And let's work together and share our knowledge and our experience and connect these dots, because it's going to come fast. It's going to come fast when this market turns and says, okay, artificial intelligence is now a part of our world, and it's coming fast, because I just had a meeting with some entrepreneurs myself yesterday who are going to bring artificial artificial intelligence to my website. That's right. I am going to give you the opportunity to ask Kerry, to ask Best of Us investors, any question you want relative to finance, and I'm going to be able to give you my years of experience as a CFP, a CHSC, and a CLU through a chatbot, so that you can make good investment decisions, so that you can manage your financial affairs. And I'm going to bring that to you before January the 1st, 2024. I'm working on it. I'm investing my money into it to help make you a better investor. Damn it, that's what I'm here for. Talk to you again tomorrow.